Okay. Hi, I'm Destiny with Young Living Essential Oils. Today we have been distilling Palo Santo. This is a tree from Ecuador. This is what the raw material looks like, and this is what we were distilling in this stainless steel container here. So that works functionally exactly the same as this one, so I'll show you how it works on this one. This works very similar to a pressure cooker. We will put some water in the bottom, and then there's a metal mesh plate that spans across the bottom, which serves two purposes. It prevents the plant material from scorching on the bottom, but also it provides even heat distribution so that the steam can rise uniformly throughout the batch.
Okay.
So as the water's heated, the steam will rise and the essential oils be released into the steam and captured by the steam and rise to the top. The steam will want to move from the warmer temperatures to the colder temperatures, so it'll follow this pipe down and through. This is called a condenser. It'll be full of cold water, and on our smaller modern unit we have continually circulating water, so it keeps it nice and cold. But as the steam travels through the tube and makes contact with the cold surface, it'll condense from a steam down into a liquid, then drain out the bottom into a container.
And that's where the oil, or does the whole thing come together and then you scrape the oil off the top, or?
Yes, so the oil and the water both run out. The oil will naturally just rise to the top. And if we come over here,
even though I didn't
you can see
necessarily
the oil sitting
help
right on top
in the
there,
in the
and
early
water
in the early
separating
days
down below.
of that formulation process,
Right, and you can feel how it's hot. So this is like the pressure cooker.
It is.
Okay, and you heat it. Wow.
Yeah, it heats. This works exactly the same. So we have a metal mesh plate here, we have water, and the plant material sitting on top. It's heating and it's just barely starting to come to temperature. And the steam has risen and is coming out and is cooling down in the
what I say,
condenser.
take a crack at it.
And then
And to
it
see
has fallen
where my
out
head
into the
was
liquid
at.
form,
Right.
and then just separates on its own into oil and water.
And that
Okay.
was
So is that
you
the
know, it's
floral
just-
water behind it
oh,
that's
gee, it was
coming
fun.
out?
It is.
Yeah, it was
What do you guys
enjoyable.
use the floral water for when you're?
The floral water for most of the farms is recirculated, but after they're done with it, I don't know. I work in the QC lab, not at my farm, so
Okay.
I get to see the oil after it's all done and filtered. And
So what do you do at Young Living then?
oh, I work in the QC lab, so I'm one of the testers. I am a chemist, so I analyze the oils for their chemical properties, our constituents. I do GC, gas chromatography, and I have done ICP for heavy metals testing. But currently, my main responsibility is stability, which is expiration dating.
Okay. All right. So you're responsible for testing to make sure all the batches are safe and.
Yep, so that it is what we say it is, that it's not contaminated, it's not adulterated, that it has the chemical components that we want in the levels that we want them. And for finished product, we make sure that it has the fill level that we're promising and that it has everything that we say that it should be.
And how many tests do you guys run on the oils?
That is really hard to say.
Okay.
So we have
I'd heard there was like 26 plus, and then you do it again, and then you do it again.
Yeah, so all of our oils are tested in 1 or 2 stages. Everything is tested as a raw material, and then if it's going to be sold as a single oil, then if it passes all of its testing, then it will go into production, it'll be bottled, and then it'll be sent back to us for testing. And there we'll test for a lot of the same things like aroma, but we'll also test different things like fill tolerance to make sure we're getting the amount that we're promising in the bottle, and also microbes, heavy metals, things like that. But if it's going to be used in a blend, then the single oil will be blended as a large batch into whatever it's intended to be. Then we'll test it again at that medium point. If it passes everything, then it'll go into production. It'll be used in soaps, shampoos, supplements, just blended oils, whatever it is. And then when it's a finished product, it'll come back to us again for testing, and we'll perform another series of tests.
And are those tests part of the GCMS, or is that something?
The GC, we will test the raw material only, and if it passes everything in the raw material, we know it'll pass as the finished product, so we don't test GC specifically again later. there's too many constituents to be able to monitor. So we will test all of the raws individually, and if they pass and are used in the blend, then we know that they're still good and have their properties that we want them to have.
What's the best thing about your job that you like, or that you like working with Young Living?
I just love the company. I've been with Young Living for 8.5 years.
8.5 years.
Yes.
So did you go to school as a chemist?
I
Or
did.
what's your background?
I actually started Young Living in the shipping department. I just happened to be driving by, and my husband knew some stuff about Gary, and so he thought I would like it. So I applied. I worked in shipping for 9 months, then I moved into Will Call. So I worked in the store and worked with distributors for 3 years. And then I got my degree so I could work in the lab at Young Living.
Okay.
And now I've been there for just over 5 years. So.
Okay. So your degree's in chemistry?
It is. I have a chemistry business interdisciplinary degree. So,
Oh,
yeah.
very neat.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing all that with me. What's your favorite oil?
It's hard to say.
I know, that's hard.
The one I use most frequently is lime, because I put it in my Ning Shizing, and I put it in my water, and I cook with it, and I put it on top of it. I just love lime. I love all the citrus. But I've also started to use Valor and Stress Away a lot lately, so just growing my favorites.
Yeah. Well, thanks for sharing with us.
Thank you.